Alright, and I'll start the recording. We pick up where you are, Felyn. In the main room of the Biblioplex, as you and your roommates, after finishing your orientation, decide to part ways to investigate things of interest. What do you want to do?
I think... Okay, because first off, Felyn absolutely took some time after learning more about the Snarl to sit down and write some theories because her brain is a churnin'.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. You can definitely find a place to sit. There's not only... It's at the front. There are legitimate tables and couches in like the seating area, and then there's also like a study area further in near like the book stacks.
I will go there.
Delicious. So you can sit, and you see that people are bussing around. Not many people are studying here today because it's the first day and all, but you do see across the way that there are people like kind of putting together like crafts for like clubs and things.
Ooh.
Yeah, it just in general, like you imagine that from what you see, it's more first years wandering around, and people of higher years are doing other things with their free time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the vibe you're getting as you're writing your theories and kind of pondering things in the Biblioplex.
Pondering the giant orb.
Yeah, pondering the Snarl.
Yeah.
That'd be a good meme.
Yeah. Okay, I think after doing that for a hot second, Felyn is gonna kind of put together her papers, and she's going to look around. And B12 was the room with the two NPCs that we didn't really talk to, right?
Let me look back at my multimedia tab.
It was the green-haired one and the one with the fire thing.
Yes, that is the art gallery, and that's where you saw those two people.
I would like to go there.
Okay, you go back to the art gallery, and you see a similar site where these giant like statues and paintings and pottery and these sort of like floating like swirls of magic that are very striking and interesting to look at, and people kind of milling about and looking at them. You see you still see the figure with the like the bright reddish pink hair, but you don't see the one with green hair anymore.
Okay. I will go ahead and go up to the one with the pinkish hair then.
Okay, how do you approach this person?
Is she like doing anything right now?
You see that she kind of is wandering around looking at pieces. I'm gonna say with your... Hold on a second. I gotta look at your passive. I have it in here, but I have to look at it.
Oh, you know, that's a good idea. I should probably pull up my sheet.
Yeah, you probably should. Okay, I'm gonna say with your passive insight, you can tell that she seems to almost be appraising things.
Oh.
Like looking over things with like an appraising eye, and kind of wandering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Felyn is just going to walk up and say, excuse me.
You see that she doesn't respond for a second, and then almost, like a couple seconds late, she notices you, and it kind of like knocks her out of her focus, and she's like, "Oh, hello."
Hello. Are you a part of what was it? TA?
TA?
Teacher's assistant? What was it with the alumni? Are you an alumni?
No, I am no. I'm a second year.
Ah, I see. I was wondering if you could entertain a few inquiries for me, or if you know where I could go to ask about things like clubs and such.
Oh, yeah. I can answer a couple questions. Yeah, I totally don't mind. If you're looking for clubs, though, there is a club. There's a room that clubs use on the other side of the biblioplex. A lot of clubs are setting up there to recruit.
Ah, I see. All right.
Yeah, but go ahead and ask your questions.
Yes. So, I have gathered that after the first year of education here, there are different colleges.
Yeah, there's 5 of them.
Do you know? Could you perchance give me a summary of the differences of these colleges?
You see her put her hands together. And she's gonna say, I'm gonna level with you. I'll give you a basic premise. If you didn't already come here knowing. But they do spend an entire day talking about each college for like a week. In like your first week being here. So I can give you a summary, but you will hear all the information again. So it's really up to you.
Yes, no, I will not trouble you with that.
I can give you like the vibes though.
Yes, I think that would be appreciated.
Okay. You see her go to count off on her hands like quickfire, Prismari, fine arts, Silverquill, liberal arts, Quandrix, math, Witherbloom, life sciences, Lorehold, history.
Could I perchance get that in text format?
Yeah, definitely. I'll DM it to you. But those are the vibes that she gives you, and that kind of gives you a better idea going forward how to interact with these people in this free time you have before you're told about them.
Okay.
Mari, fine arts, liberal arts, tricks, math, wither, life sciences, history.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and she would go on to explain. Obviously, the nuances are a way different, and there's tons of majors in all of them, and there's tons of information about all of them. But I only really know about the one I picked. I came knowing what college I wanted, so.
Yes. You are Prismari?
Yes, I am. And you see her kind of like make a little pose, not too extravagant, but she like preens a little bit.
Flynn smiles and say, "Oh, that's wonderful. May I ask what your major is?"
Well, I'm going for dance. Whether that switches or whether I get a minor or double major is really up to. It's really up to my 3rd year. Right now I'm stuck in the picking color specialty part of the year. But I am a fire dancer. So she tucks a bit of hair behind her ear, like she's trying to be humble, but she thinks it's really cool.
Felyn is just gonna look very intrigued by this, and she's gonna say, "That sounds very dangerous. Are there classes specifically for dancing?"
Well, not specifically. A lot of times when you're figuring out your thing, because that's the whole big thing about Strixhaven is they want you to find like your thing. Is that it's a lot of how you do things instead of being taught how to do specific things. So like there's a lot of dance classes, and there's a lot of like classes on how to use pyromancy, but like what I do is something that I just did. And it's okay, it's a little dangerous, but it's not like that dangerous because basically what it is I like to do performances and dance, but all of my backup dancers are figures I made out of fire. So then I don't need like a troupe or anything.
Oh, that sounds like quite the spectacle.
Thank you. I just think that if you want to do something, what better partner than yourself?
Very true. I cannot blame you for that. Are there performances at the school?
Oh, yes. Prismari, is basically, well, also a little bit of Silver Quill. Prismari, a lot of the curriculum can focus on performance-based skills because it's like acting, it's dancing, it's singing, it's art you would put in galleries and kind of gestures. Um, so like performances are very common. There's actually multiple stages to do performances like that. Even the amphitheater out there in the Biblioplex could be used for performances. People perform at the tavern all the time. Um, then there's like the band and the orchestra, and like Silver Quill does their own things on the Rose stage and stuff like that. So like there's like a lot of events actually. If you want to look into information on like events that are happening, you can find people who work at the let me find the thing. If you find people who work with the Strixhaven Performing Arts Society, they're people who basically run like the performances, so the people who you buy tickets from and the people who take care of like the stages and stuff. They usually keep a pretty good eye on what's happening when.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you done any performances on these stages?
I've performed a little bit. I haven't performed a ton. I think I did some stuff on the Rose stage last year, but since this is my first year in Prismari, I haven't done any big ones just yet. Yeah.
Well, I would love to see one sometime.
Well, thanks. Hopefully soon. Hopefully this year will be the year I can really put my name out there, so to speak.
Oh, speaking of which, what is your name?
Rionia.
Rionia. How do you spell that?
I'll DM it to you. Rionia.
Thank you.
Before you ask, no last name. Very few characters in this game have last names, and I hate that.
Fair enough.
If somebody has a last name, I'll probably have them introduced with their last name because there's so few of them.
Yeah. Felyn will just kind of hold out her hand for like a handshake and say, "My name is Felyn."
Nice. She goes to shake your hand, and she is gonna kind of do that thing where she comes in and gives you like the air kiss on the two cheeks, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, like the.
Felyn will stumble for a second, but then try to do the same.
Nice.
Alright, and then Felyn will just kind of clasp her hands together and say, thank you very much for entertaining me. Thank you for the information.
Of course. If you ever want to talk again, I also spend some of my student hours running Art House over on Prismari campus, so you can always hit me up there if you want.
Oh, thank you. I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, sorry, one more thing.
Yes.
I've been told that I can get my uniform modified on the Prismari campus.
Yes, that's usually really big on, I'm gonna warn you right now, it's gonna be really busy because not only first years do it, but also other second years Prismari that aren't into fashion design, but also people who have gotten their uniform for the first time from other colleges will usually go. So it's kind of busy, but they're on the lookout for like people who don't normally go on Prismari campus. So if you can't find a place with people, or if you find places that are too packed, someone will find you and try to alter your uniform for you. It's really easy.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good one.
You too. I'm head out.
Nice.
I'll make my way to Prismari campus.
Nice. So you go and you find one of the teleportation rooms that you were told about. The one for the central campus is in the Biblioplex, so you find it pretty easily because the door is like always kept open, and there's usually a stream of students coming in and out. And you come in, and it's sort of this open room with the same like white marble as the rest of the biblioplex. And on this sort of slightly raised platform with some stairs is etched this like really big runic circle. It looks like a teleportation circle, but a bit more complicated, just from a first glance. And you see students going up after talking to the attendant, and blinking out of existence, and students coming back in and then stepping back off, in this sort of ebb and flow. And the assistant, you notice, is this, let me get the description. You see a strikingly beautiful person with gentle curves under gray robes, similar to other faculty members that you've met, but they have their hands sort of clasped together in front of them, and brilliant white wings politely folded behind them. And they have this sort of long, wavy black hair, and it frames their heart-shaped face. And you see they have a serene smile with their eyes closed. And as you kind of approach, they smile more in there, like, "Hello, are you a new student?"
Yes. I was hoping to go to the Prismati campus.
Of course. 1 second. And you see it. The person pause. And after a second, they nod, eyes still closed, and they say, "You've been registered as a new student, and you can now use the teleportation network. You'd like to go to Prismari campus?"
Yes.
Right, please step on the platform.
Okay. And she's gonna step up.
Alright, and as you do that, the person kind of calls out to some of the other people, that you're going to Prismari campus, and some other people actually come up with you. A lot of the people in here are going to Prismari campus, and it's other people in gray robes, some in like this like green and black, some in like these like really nicely tailored white and black outfits. And after a second, you blink and teleport. It's a bit easier and quicker than your plane shift one. And there's just a flash of light, and suddenly you're in a similar room. And in this room, it's... 1 second. I'm changing the background so I know that we are in Prismari campus. You see in this room... Actually, no, I'm going to change the music too.
Ooh.
It's going to be a whole thing.
Nice.
And you find yourself in a room that is of similar proportions. There's still like the big circle carved into the ground, the platform, students coming and going. But the room is now filled with this myriad of colors, and you see that there are portraits on the walls, some beautifully framed flower arrangements on a table in the corner, a giant rug, almost like a red carpet leading up to the teleportation circle. And the person that you saw in the other room, the attendant, is still here, standing in the exact same spot that they were in.
I'm gonna, I guess, step forward.
Okay, you step off the platform. Nothing really happens.
Okay. Flynn's gonna kind of look curiously to the attendant. I'm just going to kind of walk up and say, "Excuse me, do you have a twin?"
Oh, I suppose that's a word for it. We are Hashmal.
Hashmal.
I'll spell that for you in DMs.
Thank you. Felyn's just gonna nod and say, "We."
Yes. We run the teleportation network between the campuses.
Oh, are you a simulacrum of sorts?
No, we're angels.
Oh. Oh, my apologies.
No, it's okay. A simulacrum is a construct, correct?
Uh, of sorts, yes, it is a magical construct.
That is a way you can describe what we are.
Alright. Well, thank you.
Have a good day.
You as well. And Felyn is gonna walk away.
Thanks. I love how everybody is just like, I don't know how to feel about this small business. Alright.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to get some aesthetics for you, and I'm going to describe where you are at. Prismari campus looks cool as fuck, by the way. Here is a picture of the unfilled in map so you can see the aesthetic of the campus that you're walking on.
Yeah.
It looks fucking wildin'.
Holy shit.
Yes. So you step out of this room and you actually step out into one of the main streets and you are floored by how unnatural this landscape looks. With these sort of jagged peaks, you can very clearly see a volcano. And these sort of towering spires, some towers and some just constructed buildings that are these swooping, circular red and blue, almost like they're clashing, or that like they weren't made by the same people and that things have been continuously added. It is almost overwhelming to take in with the eyes. And one of the buildings that grabs your attention the most is this tower in the center of the campus that is massively tall, with these constantly changing strands of elemental energy encircling and sparking off of it, and a glassed-in what looks to be like a glassed-in like dome or room at the top of it. And people are bustling around. But something that you see that's more immediate is that there is a lot of people just here outside of the teleportation room, because as Rionia said, there's a lot of people that are almost like waiting for people who are coming to want to alter their uniforms. And you see that some places have tables set up and some people are just like talking and there's like lines curling around. Do you want to get in line or do you want to try to find one that's not quite as busy?
I'll try and find one that's not quite as busy.
Okay, all right. You go and you start wandering around. It takes you a couple minutes because of how congested this area is. But you find... Sorry, I have many things to keep track of.
Many things. You are A-okay.
Thank you. Alright, so you see a table that kind of has three people kind of talking together. One is two are behind the table, and then one is a person talking to them. And the descriptions of these people is there's so sorry. Forgive me.
You're okay.
Okay. We're gonna describe these people now. So, one of them is, you see this sort of young-looking girl. She looks to maybe be like at the end of her teens or young 20s. And she sort of has this long like, I think they're called box braids. And they're sort of mixed with blonde and black. And you see she has a bunch of fabrics on the table, and beside her, behind the table, is this man who shines with confidence, quite literally, because you can see his braided hair burns orange like red hot metal. And it matches the same sort of bright, fiery intensity of his eyes. And he has this like dark skin and like pointed ears. And he's smiling while talking to her. And then the person in front of the table is you would recognize as a dwarven girl, short and very wide, sort of built, and dressed in sort of rich, multicolored fabric. She isn't wearing any of the college colors or the gray robes that you are used to seeing students wearing. She's wearing these salwar pants tucked into like boots, and this sort of bright gold sash, and then a button-up blouse that's kind of rolled up at the sleeves. Copper skin and dark eyes, with a healthy auburn beard, decorated with golden beads, the same that decorates her loose ponytail. And that's all the three people around here. How do you approach them?
These are all people at the same table?
Yes, they're all at the same table.
I am going to approach.
Nice, you're going to approach. You approach from the same side that the dwarven girl is from, and everybody kind of looks up from their conversation when you arrive. And the girl with the box braids smiles really brightly and almost excitedly and is like, "Oh, hello, are you looking to get your uniform altered?"
Yes, I am.
Amazing. If you want, you can come talk to me about it. We were just having a conversation, but work comes first. And you come up, and you see that she already kind of has like paper and like what looks to be like a quill in her hands. And she is going to say, do you have it with you? Do you know like what you're looking for?
Oh, yes, I do. She's gonna hold up her uniform.
Mm-hmm.
She say, I was really only hoping to have the sleeves less loose.
Oh, that'll be very easy to do. Yeah, I can do that right now if you want.
Yes, that would be very appreciated.
You see she takes the uniform and she kind of looks at you, and she like makes like a thinking face, and she says, "Normally this sort of service would be paid for, but since it's only the sleeves, I would honestly feel bad charging you, so I can just do it for you, so you don't have to worry about it, okay?"
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, it's if you really just want them taken in, I could do it like right now, like you could have it before you even leave the table.
Oh, all right. Oh, actually,
Yes.
could I also? She's gonna kind of put her hand onto like her headdress, specifically the like cloth wraps that kind of keep everything in place, and she's gonna say, "Could I perchance get something like this, but in the fabric for that?"
Oh, yes. And you see that she kind of digs through her file of fabric and brings out a couple different colors that matches different parts of the uniform, and she's gonna like ask which one specifically you would like to match with, and kind of like holds it to the fabric on the table.
Felyn's gonna point to one that most closely matches the I forget where I got that color from. I think it's from the like kind of lighter gray trim that's on the like skirt.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense, and she definitely has it. I think that she looks like she came over prepared for this. You know what I mean? Like she has like every color you could fucking want for these uniforms. And she nods and she says, "Okay, I'll get started on it. You can wait here or you can walk around, but it really won't take me that long at all."
I'll just wait here then. Thank you very much.
No problem. And she goes to kind of sit down at this sort of like folding chair at her table and goes to start working. And if you're watching her, it's actually very interesting because she goes to like rip the seam of the sleeve to take it in, and she doesn't have to fully take it apart. But you see that she's not using as many tools as you would expect as somebody who's been to a tailor and somebody who's had clothes taken in before. And you feel like it almost must mean that she is actively using magic to make her job easier, as it takes a couple seconds to fully rip the seam to get started on taking it in.
Ooh.
Yes. And something that you would notice, because you have very good passive perception, is that the dwarven girl next to you hasn't really said anything since you walked up, but is actively watching the girl who's altering your uniform work with a very critical eye.
I think Felyn's gonna talk to the dwarven lady and is going to say, your clothes are very lovely.
Oh, thank you. Made them myself.
Huh. Are you a student here or are you a teacher?
She gives kind of a laugh. And it's when you finally go to look to her and speak to her, you actually recognize this figure, and it's one of the figures that was with you.
Oh.
At the shed, yeah. So I'm.
Oh.
No, it's a-okay, because nobody wanted me to explain the rest of the people with you in the room, so I was like, okay, that's fine. But I also feel bad acting like you wouldn't see these people that stand out. So, yeah, so you recognize this person as she kind of gives a bit of a laugh, and you have a chance to kind of rectify what you said if you want.
Yeah, Felyn will quickly say, oh no, wait, my apologies, I did not realize until far too late.
No, it's okay. We didn't really speak, so I don't blame you. I'm a little below eyesight.
It's alright, I am for most people as well. And Felyn will hold out her hand and say, my name is Felyn.
She goes to shake your hand, and it's a very firm handshake, but not overly strong. Like, your passive insight, I think, is enough to get the vibe of, like, a very, like, a business person vibe over, like, somebody trying to, like, psych you out. And she gives you a confident smile, and she says, it's nice to meet you, Felyn. I'm Nefay.
Nefay.
Yes, and I'll DM you. I'll DM you that name as well.
Thank you. Delightful. Felyn will smile and say, I take it you have an interest in the Prismatic Campus?
I do. I heard people mentioning the altering of uniforms, and I kind of came to see it for myself. I'm going to do my own work, and understandably, since I can do it myself, but I was interested. I wanted to suss it out.
Felyn will nod, and she will ask, may I ask where your home is?
Yes. I'm a native of the city of Girapur. Are you familiar with Kaladesh?
No, I am not.
Most people aren't when I bring it up to them. That will take some getting used to, but...
I would love to hear about it, though.
I would love to talk about it. Actually, if you're interested, we're a city of craftsmen. I actually was very interested when I received this letter because in the idea of going to a magic school, to be frank, um, isn't very convincing or necessary to me because everyone in Kaladesh, in some form or another, can manipulate raw magic and ether. My family makes ether weave, which is thread out of magic.
Ooh.
We make our own fabrics, you see. So, I mean, it's interesting. It's cool, but whether I need to graduate is neither here nor there. I'm very confident in me and my family's own abilities.
Well, yes, it's you're of high standing already.
But where are you from?
Oh, I am from a place called Exandria.
I also haven't heard of that either. I don't know what I expected.
Felyn will just kind of shrug and say, that has pretty much been my experience learning about these words.
I suppose it will be a learning curve. It will probably be easier to expect and less surprising as we have more of these interactions.
Oh yes, I am very excited to take note on all of these places.
Felyn, you're so cute.
Felyn will actually perk up and say, may I ask what dorm you are staying in?
Oh, You see her put a finger on her chin and say, I think I'm in the room across from you. 105?
5? Oh, yes!
I remember seeing you in the hallways before we left.
Yes, but if you would be down to share stories about our respective worlds, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with you.
You see that gives a smile out of her, and it loses a little bit of the cockiness that she's kind of been in this conversation with. And she says, I think that sounds nice. Not to seem like a downer, but I feel like that will be a nice way to alleviate potential homesickness the longer we're here.
Felyn nods and she says, yes, I am. I have been attempting to block that out, even though I have just gotten here, but I will not be able to block it out forever.
Fair enough. Bring some food, some fruit, and maybe some drink, and you can come into my room at any time.
Felyn will nod and say, and same to you.
Of course. And in this time that you guys have kind of been having this conversation, the girl with the braids speaks up and says, okay, that looks like it should be about done. And she kind of holds up her handiwork for you to check over.
Hell yeah.
It looks exactly like the picture.
Yeah. Felyn will give a big smile and say, oh, this is perfect. Thank you so much.
I'm glad. And you see her kind of give a bit of a sheepish nod and look to the man beside her, who seems to be giving her like a really enthusiastic thumbs up. And she says, truth be told, I haven't really been getting a lot of bites since I'm new and all, but thank you for stopping by.
Of course. What is your name? Perhaps I can direct people here.
Oh, thank you. My name is Amaka. Amaka. And it sounds phonetic, but I'm going to send it in anyway. And as you kind of write it down, she hesitates for a second, and she's actually, I still won't charge you, but would you perhaps be willing to do me a favor?
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay. So I was asked to fetch a student whose assignment is late. But I was hoping I could camp here for a bit longer to see if I could make a bit more coin. I can direct you to the place that she stays at if you would be willing to go and take the message for me.
Yes, of course.
Okay, cool. She's going to actually scribble down some information, and she's going to say her name is Rutha Squallhard, and she stays in this room, and this is how you get to the dormitories on Prismari campus. And she's going to write it all down, and I will write down the name.
Thank you.
She hands it over, and I don't think it needs to be done immediately, but I assume it needs to be done at some point.
Felyn nods and says, I don't really have much to do right now, so I could just be on my way and get that done.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And Felyn is going to pull out her little coin pouch and is going to give 1 gold to her.
Oh, that's too much. You're already doing me a favor.
No, please, I insist.
Okay, I'm going to take this because I don't have enough money to say no. But you didn't have to do that, and thank you so much.
Don't mention it. Alright, thank you again. And she's gonna wave to all of the people.
Nice. A day wave.
Yeah.
And
the... Oh, what?
No, sorry, go ahead.
The message that I'm gonna be delivering to Rutha is just saying that, Anaka was gonna be staying at the booth for longer.
Oh, no. So you are basically you're supposed to go to the dorm and tell the person that they have to turn in their assignment because it's late.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright.
Delicious. Okay, so you go to meander through the Prismari campus, and it continues to be a very jarring visual. I'm gonna send you some more pictures of just like the campus because I think it looks really cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this place looks wild in.
Looks fucking insane.
Yeah, it does. Alright. And you go to kind of meander through this campus, and you go to find the dormitories fairly easily. It is... it's not too far away from the place that you came to outside of the teleportation rooms. And what's very interesting about this setup is that it's sort of like, it looks sort of almost like this avant-garde looking building. Again, none of the architecture really matches from place to place in this place. And as you kind of walk in and go around, this place is really big compared to the first year dorms.
Ooh.
I don't think it's a stretch to say that either there's a lot of students here or people might not even have to share rooms.
Ooh.
Yeah. And you go up to this door that is marked down with a name that you know and a message that you were to give. And how do you approach this situation?
I think Felyn is just gonna go up and politely knock on the door.
In the room, you kind of hear a noise like the shattering of glass and a very loud curse.
Hello, are you alright?
You hear some stomps towards the door. And you see it's kind of yanked open. And you see the not particularly pleased visage of an orc woman. She kind of has this. Ooh, okay, hold on. I gotta get the description because her description is really wild, and she has this sort of bluish green skin and this long, elaborately done hair that's mottled blue and red that kind of matches the color of her uniform, and these curling sort of tusks and this angular face. She blocks up a lot of the doorway because she is a tall orc woman. But from your lower to the ground vantage point, you can see a little bit into the room, and you can see what looks to be like ice, water on the ground. And she kind of looks at you, and she kind of squints down at you, and you see her kind of go to collect herself, and she looks a little less annoyed, but she still sounds annoyed when she's like, "What?"
Hello. I'm here to deliver a message from Amaka. She says that you need to turn in your assignments because it is late.
Tell her to tell Uvilda it's not done yet. And she goes to close the door.
Oh.
I'm also going to show you a picture of her because she looks very cool.
Yay!
I love characters with art.
And what was the name she mentioned?
Uvilda. And I'll text that to you. Okay, I'm gonna show you my two favorite Rutha arts because they're very good. Here's the name of
Whoa!
Yeah!
Holy shit!
She's really cool. She's really cool and I really like her, but she's very mean. But yeah, she said, tell her to tell Uvilda that it's not ready yet, and she is actively closing the door.
Alrighty then. So let's just go let her close the door.
Okay, cool. As you stand there for a bit, you hear her stomp away and muttering a bit, and you can sort of hear more watery sounds from behind the door. You have relayed your message.
I have relayed my message, and I so badly wanna talk to her more and offer help. But I don't know that Felyn would do that.
That's fair. That's fair. You also don't know what kind of thing she's working on is, you know.
Exactly. Okay, Felyn's just gonna kind of stand there for a couple seconds. And then is going to walk away, and she's gonna make her way back to Amaka.
Delicious. So you can do that pretty easily. They're in the same spot. You see, by the time you get back, Nefei isn't around anymore. Either to wander somewhere else or just not standing at this particular table anymore. But you see Amaka and the man who was talking to her is still there, and they're still kind of chatting while they're kind of waiting to see if people will come up.
Felyn will kind of walk up and wave.
Amaka stands up really excitedly and waves and says, "Well, welcome back," and gives you kind of like a look over and say, "That was fast."
Yes, I relayed her message, and she said, tell her to tell Uvilda that it's not ready yet, and then she closed the door in my face.
Oh. That's fair. That's about what I expected. I thought she would be a bit nicer to a first year, but I guess not.
Felyn shrugs, and she seems to be in the zone, as it were.
That's how she normally is. Huh. And she looks a little disheartened, but she kind of like takes in a deep breath and like looks more like, like put together and not so bothered by it. And you see the guy kind of looks at her and says, "That's a bummer, but it's fine. You're not gonna like get in trouble just because she didn't do something." And Maka's like, "You're right. You're right."
Was this a group assignment of sorts?
No. The thing about Rutha is that she's unreliable is wrong, but this is just it's a thing that happens a lot. So, uh, and you see the guy speaks up next to her, with kind of a laugh and a roll of his eyes, and he says, "Yeah, I originally Vilda would go and try to get her herself, but she's kind of willful. Won't turn in anything unless she thinks it's good enough."
Ah, I see.
So now it's more of a situation where Prismari students will be sent, and hopefully people can reach her, but they never can.
Understandable. From my short experience, that seems par for the course.
But yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. And then he also looks at Amaka and says, "You didn't do anything wrong. We told her if she submits it, she submits it, you know."
She has been notified. It is out of everyone's collective hands now.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Felyn will nod, and she will give a little wave and say, "Well, I hope to see you again sometime soon."
She gives you a smile and says, "Of course, thanks for coming to see me. I'll be around here."
Felyn will nod, and I'm gonna make my way back to my dorm.
Delicious show. You're gonna go back to your dorms.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna change the music to the dorm music. Also, I'm gonna give you the art of the guy, because the guy also has art.
Ooh. Oh, look at him!
I know. I like his smile. It's really cute. Okay. Dorm music. Sorry in advance for your meme brain. It's gonna be canon and D and harps again.
I will simply have suck a dick going on loop in the back of my brain. It is okay.
That's fine. I mean, the dorms are the perfect place for that anyway. So you go to walk back through Prismari campus, and you have another jaunt through the teleportation rooms. Hashimal's serene, smiling face welcoming you and bidding you goodbye as you come back to the central campus. And you make your way back to your dorm rooms, and it's less bustling now. You get the idea that some people are in their rooms, or some people are wandering around, or looking at other things, but it's not as packed as it was the last time you were here at the dorms.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What time in the day is it about now?
I want to say that it is so something very interesting for you, Felyn, that you would notice is that it's been a little bit of time, especially because you spent time in the biblioplex, writing down your thoughts before leaving. By the time you left Prismari campus, you felt the sky sort of dim as one of the suns went to set, and it has the same sort of light you would associate with like a sunset, but it is longer of a time than you would normally acclimate to a twilight time. So you imagine it must be somewhere in the late afternoon, but it's kind of hard to gauge time here.
Alright.
Yeah, because one of the suns is still in the sky.
We love to see it.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's not gonna be dark until 10 p.m. Yeah.
Felyn, honey, I'm so sorry for your eyes.
Yeah. It's okay. I've sprinkled in ways for you to overcome this. You will just have to find them.
She is using her parasol often.
Nice.
Okay, I am going to go ahead and go to mine and my roommate's dorm room.
Delicious. Can you give me 2 seconds? I have to use the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay, me pause. Unpause. Okay, so you are back to your dorm room. Nobody is here. You are alone in your dorm room.
Alright. Felyn is going to grab a change of clothes from her little trunk. She's gonna
Okay.
deposit her uniform.
Nice.
And I'm gonna go to the community bathroom that's at like the hall.
Nice. You go to the community bathroom and you see that there's kind of this sort of like, I want to say that there's like multiple sinks, but maybe not like a row of sinks like you would generally see. But there's probably like 3 or 4 like sinks with like a big mirror for each one. And then there are like the stalls for the toilets and the stalls for the showers. And the nice little tiled floor.
Yes. I think Felyn is gonna go ahead and start kind of taking her complicated hair down and like taking off the headdress and stuff, and she's generally gonna prepare to take a shower.
Okay, delicious. Yeah, you get ready and you can easily take a shower. I forget. Does Exandria have plumbing?
I don't think so. They have tubs, but it's like the old tubs where you have to pour the water into it instead of there being any faucets.
Okay, cool. So, by the time you get into the shower, it's a little hard for you to finagle. They're like these little private stalls. But it's still relatively easy to grasp just because they're simple showers with like a pipe and a little like you ever go to the beach and the shitty showers that they have outside?
Yeah.
It's like one of those, but like it's warm. And there's like a little like handle you can push and pull and stuff like that. So I think that even though you've never dealt with one, it's relatively easy for you to figure out. And you take a nice shower.
Oh yeah. Nice. Felyn is gonna take a bit to relax that and be amazed by this wonder of technology.
Exactly. You didn't have to heat up that water.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I imagine it's really nice. Like, definitely to us it sounds shitty, but to Felyn, I think it'd be really nice.
Yeah. Instantaneous warm water. Oh my light. Yes, and then she's gonna get dressed in her her kind of like casual clothes.
Oh hell yeah! Is that the one with the pencil skirt?
No, the casual ones are the one on the far right with the pants and the boots.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it just so I know. Oh yes, I see.
skirt
Oh,
is
that
her-
outfit looks so cute on her.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's got the little pendant for the Luxon.
Nice.
Yes. But yes, and then she's gonna take all her stuff and go back to the dorm room, and she's gonna set about kind of starting that like braid that she has in the back of her hair.
Yeah, you spend a bit of time by yourself, gathering your thoughts and getting ready. Nobody really comes in the time that you're doing that. So I imagine it's like a really nice bit of time when you're not around a ton of people because you had such a busy morning already. You had a busy whole day, and then you had another busy whole day on top of it, you know?
Yeah, Felyn is tired.
Yeah, exactly. A lot's going on.
Yeah. Okay, so Nefei
Yeah.
was in room 105. Was 105 the room that we didn't get to in the last session?
Yes, it is the one directly across from you because if you remember, River's room is right next to yours.
Yes.
And then Giselle's room is like catty cornered across and to the side. And then the last room was the one directly across from you, which is 105.
Okay. Trying to decide if I want to go there or if I want to go see if Nisim is in his dorm room.
You gotta weigh the pros and cons. And you always can like check because again, it's really up in the air if people are gonna be in their dorm rooms at any time you check, but like you can always look.
Yeah. I'll go ahead to 105.
Okay, you go to 105. The door is now closed. Would you like to knock on it?
Yeah.
Delicious. So let me look at that room really quick. Let me finagle who would be answering.
I want to meet the other roommates.
Yes. You hear this sort of a breathy, soft voice kind of carry across the room through the door and say, "Come in."
I will go ahead and open the door and walk in.
Nice. So you come and walk in, and you see that there are two people in here, on two different beds. One of them, kind of minding her own business, is let me get it. Looks to be a dark-skinned elfin woman. Seems to be like tall proportions and very slim. This sort of long, dark hair that matches an all-black outfit. You can see that she wears a very eye-catching, deep red makeup on her eyes and her lips. That goes well with the numerous piercings adorning her face. And I will show you art of this character. Oh, I almost put that in the group chat. No, this is a secret.
Ooh.
Yes. And then the other person, equally as striking in a different way, is this sort of willowy blue figure that goes to stand up from where they were seated on the floor, and you can see the window behind them, and the light from despite being dim light, you can still see it shining in and showing off that the skin is translucent, a light pale sky blue that you can see through with shimmering lights that seem to move throughout it. They have short hair that floats beautifully around their face, with no distinct line between the hair and the skin, so that hair is the same color as the skin. And they're sort of dressed in this sort of gauzy A-line dress that's in this sort of rich green, like long sleeves and embroidered hems. And you see them go to put two hands over their chests and say, "Oh, hello."
Hello. My name is Felyn. I am going to be staying in the room across from you.
"Hello." And you see the figure goes to walk up a couple graceful steps towards you and kind of reaches out to take your hand in both of theirs. And they give you a bright smile and says, "Hello, my name is Eleni." Eleni. I'll send you it. I have to spell so many names, but that's fine. I give everybody weird ass names. And Eleni smiles at you and says, "It's nice to meet you, Felyn. Would you like to sit?"
Felyn is gonna give a big smile and say, I would love to, yes.
Nice. You are taken to one of the bottom bunks and motioned to sit. Also, something that you notice as you, if you let Eleni take your hands, their hands feel slightly damp, but not that wet. And they let you sit down, and they are going to sit on the ground in front of you and say, "Oh, it's exciting! Our first guest." And they go to like look behind them at like the elfin woman who doesn't seem as enthused, not as aggressive or standoffish as say like Ashan or Musim, but more there's no better way to say it than brooding. There's no better way to describe this character. Um, but Eleni doesn't even wait for a response before turning back to you and say, tell me, friend, tell me about yourself.
Oh, well, I am a planeswalker.
Yes, I am as well.
Yeah. Yes. I come from a world called Exandria. I am a
Exandria.
cleric of my, the Luxon, although that is more likely than not a unfamiliar name here.
You are a priestess?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing! I haven't talked to many religious people since I came here, so that it eases my heart a little bit, I suppose, to find someone similar to me.
Oh, are you also of the cloth?
Uh, I suppose technically, um, though I never did much priestly duties back home. But me and my family are dedicated to our god.
Oh, may I ask about your god? I am very interested to learn.
Yes, her name is Thassa, and she is a goddess of the sea. We actually live in the sea, us and our people. And you see as they talk about it, the shimmering lights that you kind of saw inside of their body kind of swirls a little bit. Uh, Kind of like how you see like bioluminescent scrimps on a shoreline. They just kind of float around.
Uh, Felyn will just nod and smile and say, that is very intriguing. There are not many creatures in my home that live under the water.
I think that's fair. Um, I don't know how particularly common it is, but everyone I knew back home was like that.
And what is your home called?
I am from Ketafos. It. Oh, I suppose we should introduce our worlds. My home is called Theros, but the place that me and my family lives is an island called Ketafos. Well, we're off the island, but that is the closest approximation of where we live.
Sorry, I'm writing. Hang on.
That's okay, take your time. I'm straight vibing.
Theros bitch. Theros bitch.
Yeah.
Delightful. Felyn will nod and say, well, it sounds fascinating. I would love to learn more about it. I have actually spoken with your other roommates. Nafay. Sorry, I have to keep going back for
It's
names.
okay. Oh, yes. She does sleep here. She is another one of our housemates.
Yes. I am particularly interested in learning about the respective worlds that the other planewalkers have all come from. Me and your roommates have agreed to meet up sometime to talk about it, and I was wondering if I could also come to you for such conversation.
Oh, of course. I would love to welcome guests at any point. Oh, and then you see they sort of go to stand up in surprise and they're like, "Oh, I'm a terrible host. Would you like anything?"
Felyn laughs a little, and she's, "Oh, no, do not worry yourself. I am perfectly fine."
Okay, but next time I will have things to offer you. Um,
uh,
and they give you a smile and say, "I would love to speak about my home more. I This is my first time leaving, so I would love to also hear about where you're from and all of your stories and experiences."
Felyn nods and says, "I have 2 lifetimes worth. Well, almost 2 lifetimes. It
Really?
is my first. Yeah, it is my first time away from home as well. So I am afraid it is not going to entail a lot of worldly adventures, but
That's okay. I will still listen anyway.
thank you. You're very sweet."
Thank you. I have heard this before, uh, but it still makes me happy to hear.
And Felyn is gonna look towards the brooding lady
Yeah.
and say, I don't believe I cut your name."
Oh, I suppose we haven't interacted yet, so I guess that makes sense. Hello. And you see, she goes to kind of brush a hand through her hair. It's giving you the idea that she's trying to make sure that like it's like straight and like out of her face and stuff. And she kind of like shifts a bit to kind of put her feet off the bed and kind of face the both of you. As Eleni turns to kind of look expectantly with a smile. And the elfin woman in front of you says, "Well, my name is Aurora Luna Winterstar. It's nice to meet you." I'm gonna spell it for you because it's really good. Hold on.
Wait, is it spelled differently from the words?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
This is gonna be fucking Kelsey fucking. Ah, I see.
I just really like the last name a lot.
Winterstar.
Winterstar.
Winterstar. Felyn will nod and smile and say, "That's a lovely name."
Thank you.
Uh,
And you see, she kind of shifts a bit, and goes to look out the window. Your name is Felyn?
yes.
Hold on. I keep thinking of things to say, and I'm like, should I? She's going to say, I'll make sure to remember it. Gives you a nod.
So we'll just nod and say, "May I ask about where you are from?"
Oh, I'm not a planeswalker, so I'm from here.
Felyn nods and says, "All the same, this place is still very foreign to me. So if you would be open to conversation, I would love to perhaps get some of your insight."
Sure. I wouldn't mind.
Felyn will nod, and she'll kind of look to both of them and say, "May I ask your reasons for coming to the college here?"
You see Aurora kind of go to adjust her clothes a bit and say, I'm coming to study music. Oh. I figured this would, be my big chance.
Oh, are you a bard?
I am, yes.
Oh, two of my roommates are also very bardly, though I'm unsure if one of them would call herself a bard.
Really? And you see she
Yeah.
looks like mildly interested.
Yes, Motiva and Dove.
That's kind of cool. Might look out for them. And Eleni perks up and with a lot of enthusiasm says, I don't know!
Lenny, I love you! We'll just smile and say, what kind of interests do you have?
I like to paint. I like to sing. I like to I like to listen to and tell stories. And you see they slowly start to have more and more trouble thinking of things that they like to do. I like to talk to people.
And we'll just smile and say, perhaps, fine arts. Or, they also mentioned a liberal arts, though I am not entirely sure what that means. But
I'm
one of the
not sure
colleges here
either.
specializes in fine arts.
Oh, I must go look at their things.
There was a gallery in the biblioplex.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
I also met a fire dancer there.
A dancer of fire.
Yes.
Oh, that
I'm
sounds
very intrigued.
amazing. I'll have to speak to them when I have a chance.
Yes, actually, speaking of Prismari, have either of you gotten your uniforms adjusted?
You see, Eleni look really excited and say, no, oh, that's right. Our teacher said that we could go there, right?
Yes, I found a table with a lovely woman who actually did mine. She insisted it was free, though I still paid her because, I mean, come on. But her name is Amaka, and Felyn is going to start describing her and the man so that trying to give them something to look for.
Yeah. You see, as you're talking, Eleni looks even more excited and says, oh, I would love to go and seek them out. And then you see they go to like look to Aurora and say, Aurora, would you like to come? We can go together. And you see Aurora almost make a face but sigh and agree. And you imagine that as soon as you're done with their conversation, they will both go together to go get their uniforms messed with.
Delightful. Felyn will
Yeah.
give a little happy clap and she'll say, if you haven't seen it already, the Prismari campus looks absolutely insane.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. This place is so different.
It is unlike anything I'd have seen or heard of before. I'm so excited to be here. Alright, well, thank you for conversing with me. I would love to talk with you guys again. I will leave you to your business, though.
Of course, stop by any time. And you see Eleni go to start, like, ushering Aurora up so they can go as you leave. I hope you like them.
I love them!
I hope you like them.
I love them.
I think Eleni is very fun and cute.
I love Eleni. Felyn, so far, pretty much every person Felyn has seen, she has thought has been cute or gorgeous or both.
I love that so much. Lynn, me too.
Yeah. I also wanted to imagine a Sean is gonna be hard to get a hold of.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He will turn up. eventually, but he will not turn up anytime soon.
Yeah, I'll save that for another time.
You could always go try to find him, but it's entirely up to what you would think he would be doing, which I think is very interesting because you guys don't know anything about him.
Yeah, I don't know jack shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure where to start, and I also think Felyn is tired enough at this point that she's just gonna kind of sit down in the dorm room in the quiet and just kind of process the day.
That's fair. A lot has happened.
Yeah.
Tell me Felyn's thoughts. Tell me how Felyn is like feeling and what she's thinking about.
She is incredibly excited, if a tad bit overwhelmed, just because
Mhm.
there's so much shit that she wants to ask about and learn about.
Mhm.
Uh, and I think she, at the mention earlier of like homesickness, she's like, she just got here and she's already knowing that she's gonna get homesick real fast.
Yeah, because it's so different, you know?
Yeah. Um. But overall, I think it's a lot of kind of like little bit of nervous energy, and looking forward to what all we can learn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious. I love that. After you have a bit of time to yourself, is there anything else you would like to do, or do you want to just chill in the room?
Do you think I do actually feel and might want to go back to the biblioplex to see if there's any books on the snarl.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I think that would be very fun. Let me get the Biblioplex music.
Fuck yeah.
Let me get it. It's... Hold on, I'm actually gonna pause really quick while I find some music. Okay, I unpause. And we got the high energy again. Okay, you're gonna go to the Biblioplex.
Biblioplex.
Biblioplex. Delicious. So, you go up, and it's still as bustling as it was before. You can tell that there's definitely still going through, like groups of people going through orientation. So there's first years running around excitedly, and then there's like people who are looking for books or like asking for books. There are people who are going to the cafe, and then there's also still that other small room in the front that you haven't seen yet. There are people bustling out of the room that Quintilius and Rionia told you is the student activities room. And you kind of see in the center of one of the maps. Let me go to multimedia real quick.
Because I completely forgot to go there to see about clubs and shit.
Yeah, you could still do that. You got time.
Yeah.
And about right here on the map, I'm going to show you. About right here on the map are like little help desks with like people behind it.
Ah.
Yes. So, what are you doing? You have a lot of options.
I think I'm gonna start by going up to the first help desk there.
Okay. You see, as you get closer, something very fun is what you notice. As you go up to this person, you see it looks like a tree. And as you get closer, you can see the humanoid figure that it actually is, but skin like bark and hair like leaves and very tall. I'm unsure if Felyn would have seen a treant, but that's what this is.
Whew.
And you see as you kind of walk up and you realize the figure turns to you and says, "Hello. What are you looking for today?"
Hello. I was wondering if you had any books on the snarl.
Yes, many. Do you want general introductory texts, or do you want specific topics pertaining to snarls? or specific to the Strixhaven snarl?
Yes.
I will get you a selection. 1 second. And you see the person go to turn and press what looks to be a button on the desk, and out wheels one of these clockwork automatons that you've been seeing occasionally in administrative buildings. Kind of roll up, and you see the treant and this automaton exchange a few words, and then the automaton goes off into the stacks, and you are left here to wait. But the treant is still here, waiting with you.
I think Felyn is just gonna kind of stand here a bit awkwardly, not entirely sure what to do while she waits.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. You wait here kind of awkwardly. The treant doesn't seem to mind as an automaton comes and wheels over to you, carrying a stack of 4 different books. And you see the treant take them and go to place them on the desk in front of you and say, you are a first year, yes?
Yes.
All right. All books have a fee if damaged. They must be requested to be taken off of Biblioplex grounds. And so that you can know, you cannot go into the upper or lower floors without permission from a dean. So please make sure not to wander too far.
Felyn will nod and say, thank you. What would I do to put a request in to take these?
You would just express that you are taking them to any of the help desks. Since I am here, I can put in that you are taking them. It's just so that we know when books are and aren't on the premises.
Yes, of course. Is there a specific date that I should have these back by?
That's a good question. Preferably, they should be returned within a week, but if you cannot finish certain ones by then, you can extend your request, which is subject to approval, or we can hold them at help desks so that when you come back to the Biblioplex, you can read it here and don't have to have us go looking for it again.
All right. Thank you very much.
Of course. And it gives you a nod.
Felyn will take the pile o' books.
Nice pile o' books. You have 1 book that says History of Arcavios, 1 book that says History of Strixhaven University, 1 that is called let me find it. One that's called Snarls and Star Arches, and then 1 that is called A Treatise on the Effects of Snarl Magic. I got books.
Fuck yeah. Alright. And Felyn is just going to carry these books with her as she goes to the activity room.
Of course, you're such a nerd. I love you so much, Felyn. Felyn is such a nerd. Nice. Okay, so you carry your books. I don't think that they're particularly hard to carry, but they are a little bit cumbersome just because you're carrying just a stack of 4 books, but it's not too bad. and you go over to the student activities room, which you've been told has a lot of people who are looking to recruit for clubs, and you open it, and it is jam-packed. It's jam-packed. You can easily see that there's over 20 stalls or tables set up with people behind them and milling around them. They each have like a display of some sort, and whether that is something like things plastered on the wall behind them, or if it's like a little, like, you know, those like poster boards and stuff like that, or like things strewn on the tables and people are coming and talking to the people behind them and like moving on and stuff like that. So it's very busy. But also something of note is you can kind of tell that there are people behind tables that are almost hawking like their club, like hawking their wares. So it's like people like actively trying to recruit people who are wandering around, and it's a very lively atmosphere. I want you to roll me a perception to see what kind of clubs you notice on first glance.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take longer to peruse this room, but it would be like, it would take a hot minute, and then I would like tell you like the places you can find and stuff like that. But this is just a cursory glance.
Yeah. I got 18.
18, that's very good. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Let me look at these clubs. Okay, so you see a total of 5 different clubs that kind of jump out to you. And those are the Dragon's Guard Historical Society.
Historical Society.
Yep. Intramural Silk Ball Club.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'm gonna slow these down so that you can write them down.
Okay.
Okay. You see one called Student Mages of Faith. You see
Oh, wow. Hello, Stanley.
Oh, wow. He has a lot to say.
He's mad because I took his Christmas present from him.
Oh, no. Okay, and then you see the Fantastical Horticulture Club.
Okay.
And then the last one you see is called the Mage Tower Cheer Squad.
Delightful.
Yeah. So these are the kind of 5 that you can really eyeball as your like eyes dart around the room, taking it in. What you doing?
Felyn is gonna walk up to the Student Mages of Faith.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
Church girl to go to church and read her Bible.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go up, and you see something that's really fun. Is another tree-looking individual behind this desk. And you see that he is this towering form that looks crafted from wood and leaves, with almost antler-like branches sprouting upwards and adding to his height. And he has this sort of eerie yellow glow from the crevices in his body. And he has this sort of elaborate necklace made from bits of metal and bone. And you see that he's kind of chatting. He's standing behind the table, but he's chatting to what you now know is an owlin. And a very built one at that. As you see, he easily stands over 6 feet tall, with like this sort of perpetually scruffy look, with his feathers sticking all over his head and arms, which are colored tawny and white, and they seem to be talking kind of animatedly as you walk up. How you approach?
I think Felyn is gonna kind of stand by and like wait a bit patiently until there's like a pause or a break in their conversation.
Yeah, it's pretty easy for that to happen actually, because if you're watching, they have like a conversation, and the owlin kind of claps the tree-looking man on the shoulder and walks off, and that's kind of when I feel like he also notices you. So you kind of make eye contact with this tree man, and I'm going to show you a picture of these people. Hirm tree.
Ooh.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Here owl. Oh, go. Here owl.
I love the feathers.
I love looking at art of owlin.
Yeah.
Nice. And so you kind of like make eye contact. Do you say anything?
Yeah. Felyn will kind of raise her head and say her hand, and say, hello. You are the mages of faith?
Yes. I'm running the table. Did you want a flyer?
Yes, I was interested in learning more.
Yes, yes. And you see, he goes to kind of pick up one of the papers on his desk, and he goes to hand it to you. And this is sort of a very plain-looking flyer, but it basically has like the name, and it has a short little summary about it, that basically explains that it's a place where pious students of many faiths can gather to share prayers and theological debates, and to celebrate one another's high holidays. That's the whole premise of the club.
Okay. Felyn will perk up and get a big smile on her face, and she says, I would love to join.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, this is very good. We haven't had somebody join so fast. Okay. And he gives a nod, and he kind of straightens up, and he says, well, official signups are in 2 weeks, but you can still obviously partake in club activities if we have any. There's one other, and you see he kind of goes to look around the room as if he's looking for somebody, but he quickly gives up and he shakes his head, and he says, I can just you can find me here. Up until then, I'll come out of my, I'll put time out of my day to make sure that I'm here if you want to meet everyone.
Felyn's still smiling, will nod her head, and says, of course, I'm very excited about this, thank you.
Of course. I'm also excited about this. Currently there's only one other member. It was bigger last year, but this is very exciting. Do Well, okay, let's start. Before I start asking you your religious beliefs, what's your name?
My name is Felyn.
Felyn, nice to meet you. And he puts a hand on his large chest and he says, "My name is Melwithorn."
Melwithorn.
Melwithorn. Melwithorn.
Melwithorn. Thank you.
Yes. He gives a nod and he says, "This isn't my only club, but since there's so few people in it, we all put a lot of effort into making it a saying a safe space implies that the college isn't one, but I hope you get what I mean. A place of
Yes.
comfort."
It is nice to have a space dedicated to things such as this.
Yes, of course. And even if we have differing beliefs, as the flyer says, anytime you want to come in and talk about things, we all make sure to listen.
Felyn nods, and she says, "I am very interested to hear about other beliefs."
Nice. He looks very, like, calmly jazzed that he has acquired new club member. It's like, yes.
Yes. Right. Felyn is gonna tuck the pamphlet into her pile of books.
Yes.
And is going to give a little bow and say, "Thank you for your time."
Of course. Have a good day. There are a lot of other cool clubs. I don't know if anybody told you you can have two, so don't hold back.
Alright, I will be sure to look around. Thank you.
Yes. And he waves you goodbye. And you'll leave.
Hell yeah.
I hope you'll like my tree man.
I love this tree man.
He looks weird as fuck. I love the design.
I love it so much.
The art in this book is really cool. I'm really
It's
sad
really
that
good.
some of my favorite NPCs don't have art because either I made them or they're from like a card or they're from one of the stories and I love to describe them, but like the art for the characters in this setting, cool as fuck.
Cool as fuck.
Okay, cool. Cool. Do you want to look at any of the other ones that you kind of spied, or do you want to kind of look around? What are you thinking?
I want to look around a bit.
Okay.
I want to see what other clubs are here.
Nice. So if you're willing to take a bit of time to walk through this room, I don't want to say it takes like an hour, but like I want to say maybe it takes like 30 minutes. I can then just give you a list of all the clubs here.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna go down the list, okay?
Yeah.
Dead Languages Society.
Alright.
Distinguished Society of Fine Artists.
Alright.
Dragon Chess Club.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Future Entrepreneurs of Strixhaven.
Alright.
Intramural Gymnastics Club.
Alright.
Intramural Water Dancing Club.
Yeah, fine. And water dances. Oh my boy.
I know.
Okay.
Live Action Role Playing Guild.
Fucking superb.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay. Strixhaven Iron Lifters Society.
gym bros.
Yeah, they are.
Alright.
Okay, Strixhaven Show Band Association.
Alright.
And the Strixhaven Star. Yes. Those are all the ones that you haven't already heard mentioned.
Alright.
So you have a complete list of all the ones that are in this area. Not every stall has a person behind it, but if there are clubs that you are interested in, feel free to tell me that you want to investigate them.
Yeah.
Also, over time, more clubs can form if I add random clubs halfway through the year. Ignore me.
Gotcha. Okay. Hang on. I'm gonna go down my list. I'm gonna mark for myself.
Okay.
Because Felyn is also going to get pamphlets for clubs that she thinks her new friends would like.
Oh, that's really cute. I love that. That's really fun. That means you can also just see a lot of people.
Yes. Okay. I want to get pamphlets for the Dead Languages Society and
Okay.
the Dragon Chess Club.
Delicious. Okay, so you go up to the Dead Languages Society, and you see a minotaur there.
Ooh.
Let me show you this minotaur. Minotaur.
Little glasses.
I know. I love the little glasses. I love the little glasses. So you roll up and you see this minotaur. And when you stop there, he looks startled and excited. And he's like, "Oh, hello, hello. Are you interested in the club?"
Oh, yes, I have a friend who has expressed a knack for languages, so to speak. So I was wondering if I could get a pamphlet.
Oh, yes, of course, yes, of course. And he goes to kind of dig through the papers and the books on the table, and he goes to hand you a flyer. And it has like this really cool, like simple but interesting like lithograph visual, which is like there's like a picture, but it's made out of words.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it looks like it's simple, but it's neat. And it says Dead Languages Society on it. And he hands it and he says, "Here you go. If they're interested, I'll be here most days of these upcoming 2 weeks. But if I'm not here, you can tell them they can find me. I work as a book clerk at the Biblioplex, so they should be able to find me in the Biblioplex all the time. Is what I'm getting at."
Felyn will nod. What was it? Book clerk?
Yeah, book clerk.
Book clerk. Okay.
Delightful.
Felyn will nod and tuck the pamphlet into her pile of books and look up to this minotaur and say, if I may ask, what languages do you know?
Oh, well, you see, I know a handful, like my mother tongue and some occasional things that I've picked up, but mostly what I like to spend my time here doing is researching original writing of translated works.
Oh.
Yes, it's less that I try to learn many languages, but I just think you lose a lot of meaning when you translate works over time. But I think the original meaning, I feel like, has a lot of emotion in it that I think you lose. So that's what I do.
Felyn nods and says, I completely understand. I've read one or two translated books from Undercommon to Common, and there are not a lot of words that properly express the meaning in the original language.
It's true, or even the intent. Sometimes you can translate a word directly, but it still doesn't have the same association to the reader. I feel like stuff like that is very important for context.
Yes, precisely.
Yes, I'm glad you understand.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for this pamphlet. What is your name, by the way?
Oh, my name is Drasimir. Drasimir Yarnask.
Motherfucker with the last name.
Motherfucker with the last fucking name, bitch.
Thank you. Delightful. All right.
Nice.
Felyn will introduce herself and say, I'm Felyn.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I hope to see you around.
Me too. Have a good day.
You as
And
well.
welcome to Strixhaven.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Ales. And then I'm going to the Dragon Chess Club.
Dragon Chess Club, let's go. Okay.
After this, I also had 3 other clubs that I was interested in.
Okay, cool, great. We love to see it. We love to see it. We love to see it. It's really funny because you and Ash had entirely different mini sessions because Ash just talked to like 5 people but for a long time. And then you're talking to 50 people for like 5 minutes. It's very funny.
Yeah.
You are on a mission.
I am on a mission. I love having busybody characters. Felyn needs to do all of the things. Oh. There we go.
Okay, you go up to the Dragon Chess Club and you see Sorry, most clubs have a couple people in them, and it's always hard to decide who I want to introduce when you go up to a stall. Okay, so you come up to the stall, and it's decorated very sparsely. It doesn't have a lot to it, but when you come up, you see a very tall and imposing Loxodon figure, which is an elephant person.
Yeah.
Dressed in immaculately cleaned military regalia. To match the white and gold accented outfit, their tusks and ears are similarly decorated with gold jewelry and piercings, giving them a very regal appearance. And as soon as you kind of walk up, you're greeted very warmly with a very loud welcome, welcome. Did you want to join the club?
Yes, I was interested.
Of course, here is a flyer. And with a flourish, they pull out a little pamphlet that has Dragon Chess Club written in this very painstakingly written font. And inside it has like, I want to say quotes that revolve around like the excitement of like a duel of wits. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that, you know? And they hand it over, and they say, are you well versed in the game?
I was actually about to ask about that. I am not not what one would call proficient with this game, though I had a much bigger interest in it in my first life, and I was wondering to get back into it.
Of course, we have a spot for everyone. One of our recent additions is still learning the game, so we have a place for all experience levels.
That is delightful.
Yes.
Jot that down.
Delicious. And while you do that, I'll give you a picture.
Ew. Ooh.
I know. I know. The art in this book is cool.
Yep, sir. Delightful.
Yes.
Right. Hey. I don't think Felyn really has a whole lot of questions for the dragon chess people right now.
Delicious. That is a-okay. Yes.
I would like to go check out the LARP guild.
Okay, you go to check out the table that has this banner that says Live Action Role Playing Guild. You get there and nobody's standing there. But there is like messy piles of like pamphlets and flyers, but all of them are different. It's not like the same design printed on a bunch of them. It's like these look hand drawn.
I was so hoping for this.
They were hand drawn, and to varying skill levels, I will say. Some of them look pretty good, and some of them look terrible. And something of interest is that you see things like people locked in combat, and you see like salamanders, and you even see one that has like a beholder, but like with sharp teeth in its mouth. But there's not really information on the guild in any of these. They're just cool drawings. Yeah, nobody's here.
Felyn is gonna take like 2 of the pamphlets.
Okay.
And she's just gonna kind of look around the stall, and then she's just gonna kind of walk away, kind of looking back at it, wondering why nobody is there, and confused as to what LARP is.
That's fair. You walk away and nothing happens, but you take them. I do have a question. Do you just take 2 random ones, or do you try to find ones that are good, or do you try to find like specific ones that I described?
I think I'm gonna get one really well-made one, and then one of the shittier ones.
Okay, cool. Yeah, delicious. We love that. Add those to your inventory.
Oh my god. I have so many pamphlets.
You have so many pamphlets. I love that you're gonna come back and you're gonna fucking have these be spilled out over your bed.
Yep. Felyn
Your bed
is
that
the
you don't
bitch
need.
Yeah. That's what I'll use the bed for. It is now my storage space. Extra storage space.
I love that though because it fits.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then I wanted to check out the show band association.
Okay, cool. We can do that. We can do that.
I don't know if it's what I think it is, but if it is, again, pamphlet.
Okay, yeah, you go up to a stall that says the Strixhaven Show Band Association, and you see that it has decorated on this stall is posters that look to be from previous performances. None of the names really ring a bell, but like it looks like your traditional like orchestra band situation. And you walk up, and there is a human woman standing behind it, dark-skinned with black and silver curly hair pulled back tightly. and has an overall really put together look. It matches her white and black uniform. And whenever she meets your eyes, she gives a sort of reserved smile, but there's like something about her that makes her a bit hard to take your eyes off of her. And she says, "Welcome. Are you looking to join the band?"
I was actually hoping to get pamphlets for some friends of mine. I am not very musically inclined.
Oh, of course, of course. And she nods and she goes to pick up a pamphlet and offer you one. And it has like a full pamphlet, and it has some information on like what instruments are in the band. And then there's also one of the pages says that they do tryouts and things like that.
Nice. Oh, excuse me. Felyn will kind of skim through those, and then she'll look up to the human woman and ask, "Do you allow guitars?"
Oh, yes, we can allow some guitars. We have a couple more modern instruments, so that's not a problem.
Felyn will smile and nod and say, "Oh, that is good to hear."
Yes.
And then she will tuck the pamphlets along with the others
Nice.
and smile and nod and say, "Thank you."
Of course. And she gives you a polite wave as you walk away.
Okay, last one.
Okay. Yeah.
The Strixhaven Star.
Strixhaven Star, cool. So you go to the Strixhaven Star.
Oh, she's
and-
pretty.
Yeah, she's really pretty. So you go up to this stall, and it has this huge banner that says the Strixhaven Star on it. And the way that this area is decorated is that in the wall behind it, it's almost like there's plasterings of like paper with like words on it. I am unfamiliar with if Exandria has newspapers or not, but they're like newspaper clippings. And you see piled high on the table, instead of pamphlets, they have like rolled newspaper magazines. And as you walk up, you see a human girl with East Asian features and this beautifully long silver hair, dressed smartly in a white, black, and gray uniform. And she smiles really brightly as you walk up to her. And she's like, "Hi, welcome. Would you like a paper?"
Hello. Yes, I would.
Nice. You are handed a newspaper, and on it is blazoned the Strixhaven Star. And this is the person.
Ooh. Funky.
Yes.
Alright. Honestly, Felyn was just going here to figure out what this was.
Nice. Nice. That's fair. It did not specify exactly what it was.
Felyn will okay. Because from my memory, Exandria doesn't have newspapers exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Felyn is not entirely familiar with this concept, but she will look up to this woman and ask, "How often do you publish?"
We publish once per week. This is technically one that was written for the start of the day, but we should have another print first thing after the free day, so in about 2 days.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. If you want another one, they're usually on sale at the newsstand over at the Fire Jolt Cafe, but you don't have to pay for this one.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, first one's free. And she gives you a wink. Say, where are you from?
Oh, I am a planeswalker. I come from a place called Exandria.
Okay, interesting.
I hope to learn much more about this school and what was it, Arcadia?
Arcavios.
Arcavius, there we go.
Yeah. And she kind of gives you a smile and she says, "Oh yeah, of course. If you want to learn, you came to the right place. Don't worry." And if you're worried about like not fitting in or whatever, it's generally you don't need a lot of information about. I don't feel like a lot of my real world experience comes up here at school, so it shouldn't be too bad for you, I don't think.
She says, I've already seen and met several people from all walks of life, so I am having trouble feeling entirely out of place.
That's good.
What is your name, by the way?
My name's Mina. Mina Lee.
Felyn will nod and hold out a hand and say, Felyn.
Nice to meet you, Felyn. And she goes to take your hand and shakes it. And she kind of says, conversationally, I met your friend Motiv the other earlier, not the other day. I don't know why I was going to say that. She stopped by.
Felyn smiles. She says, oh yes, she is my roommate.
Neat.
I want to talk to this girl more, but I can't think.
That's fair.
I'm gonna blame it on Felyn as a character being tired.
That's fair. That's fair. You have many days to talk to NPCs, so you can always come and find her again if you want.
Yeah.
I plan on going back to most, if not all, of these NPCs,
Nice.
if I possibly can.
Nice. You have all day tomorrow.
Yeah. Delightful. Alright. Yeah, I think after getting all that, Felyn's gonna head back to the dorm, spread all the shit out on the bed, and I think she's just gonna go straight into trancing.
Nice. Oh, trancing's really fun. Okay, cool. We love that.
Yeah.
Delicioso. All right, and then we will end the mini session here.
Woo!